YouTube has a huge problem. I know, yet another hot take from the nobody with 2,000 subscribers. Yes, we've been here before time and time again, hot off the heels of their resoundingly loved YouTube Rewind 2019.
Oh, you hate to see that.
YouTube called themselves updating their harassment policy. So, stricter stance on abusive language. Now, this is saying prolonged attacks that insult a person's intrinsic attributes such as race. That's fine. If you, within context, are attacking someone just off of things that they can't help and their desired preference, you're kind of a dick. I mean, that's just what it is. But context really does matter. And I'm going to explain that later. That stricter stance on threats, not only explicit threats, but see, this is fine. I am 100% down. Nobody should have to feel like they're in harm's way just because of what they say, do, or think online. Now, this is where it gets right down and juicy like a medium steak. This part right here, consequences for harassment patterns. Because harassment can be more than one single video, or I guess a single, whatever. Repeated behavior like maliciously targeting the same individual across multiple videos or comments can lead to penalties like YouTube partnership suspension, strikes, or even termination. Now this right here, this is where we have the biggest problem and the crux of what I'm talking about today. Because I'm pretty sure, as many of you already know, iDubbbz's content cop on Leafy was taken down by YouTube for this particular reason. So it's setting an obvious precedent. Now, YouTube could easily walk this back and reinstate it, but chances are, given what's in the video at face value without context being used, which is very important, of course, they're probably not going to take it back. There's going to be no backseas on this, as stupid as this is. I want to say seem, I really do. I really want to be fair to YouTube and the employees there, but this is really stupid. It comes off as yet another tone-deaf shit sandwich, which is, I'm really tired of this meal, actually. Of course, YouTube isn't the only one that does this. How many companies across the board do this? It's almost like a rite of passage for you to become a multi-million dollar up to billion-dollar company. That's, of course, completely disconnected with the world around you. I don't like how vague the harassment policy is. Like I said, some of it, as you can see, some of it's justified. Like the violence part, no question, I'm for that. But the vagueness seems to be YouTube's main occupation. I'm not joking when I say this, but I really feel like YouTube executives and YouTube lawyers really just get off to being so vague with their terms and conditions. And I get it in full. It gives you wiggle room just in case you need that wiggle room, whether it's dealing with a creator, dealing with an advertiser, or dealing with the government. But it's really a double-edged sword. It really needs to be explained, because with that vagueness and with the generic YouTube responses, it reminds me of those aliens from the Neutral Planet on Futurama.
I have no strong feelings one way or the other.
And if you go over to Susan's profile, she mentions, so we consulted with a wide array of creators, experts, and organizations. Who did you talk to exactly? Why are we playing this Who's That Pokemon game? Who's actually the people that you talk to? I feel like this list consists of Susan. That's it. Who am I kidding? It was Susan and the people that give Susan money. Everything is vague, even though I really feel like it shouldn't be. But the precedent that you've set with this new policy and taking down iDubbbz's content cop on the same day, it's not a good look in any way, shape, or form. Case in point, for the two people that may have not seen the content cop that iDubbbz did on Leafy. The content cop was basically insulting and coming at Leafy, making fun of his appearance. But here's the deal. That sounds bad without context. That sounds completely bad. If you actually watch the video and you have no context and you think it's just some random person going at some other random person, yeah, it seems really mean. It seems really bad. But let's add content. Let's take this little transparent sheet, those little transparent things that you'll see in a classroom, and you overlay it onto something. Let's add that context. So with the context, iDubbbz was B-wording. That's sad. I actually just feel the need to say the B word just so I don't get the yellow piss dollar sign. Anyways, with the added context, Leafy was B-wording all these other channels and people. Like, Leafy made an empire off of it. What What does a content cop usually do? It gives the person that he's validly criticizing a taste of their own medicine. The hypocritical nature of Tana Mongoloid, he gave Asian Jake Paul a taste of his own medicine. This whole hype beast nonsense crap that he's made an empire off of, making fun of kids and doing all this stupid childish crap. He gave him a taste of his own medicine. It's the context that is what's most important in this. And you know, I've seen the YouTube is over party over and over and over and over and over and over again. So it comes to a point to where it feels like it's just white noise. But the reality of it is, with any doomsday prediction, a lot of them will be very wrong. But as time goes on, as infinity stretches on, eventually, with the law of averages, you will be right. And we all know about this whole loosely defined harassment issue. With Monkey being yeeted, Leafy getting yeeted. I'm not a big fan of Leafy, but I really don't feel like you should be silenced. Even if you can prove it wrong. If you have a problem with people talking and you know it's objectively wrong or terrible, then you should be allowed to bring those people out into the public square and debate them, crush them under their own ignorance. If it's so wrong, you should do that instead of just silencing people and silencing think altogether. That does nothing for anybody. Now, of course, I'm talking on the moral standpoint. I'm not talking about on the dollar sign standpoint, because we already know what time it is on that. I don't even need to clarify on that. But I hope this doesn't devolve so far into let's just delete criticism by mass flagging harassment, YouTube hero style, no less. Remember that massive mess up? And I feel like inadvertently protect people who are running like garbage business practices. And we've seen those, like the reason that I feel like COPA is in such play right now is because of crap like this, the shady business operations. And then they'll be like, oh, you're harassing me, when really somebody's just calling you out on your bullshit. You can just get away with it and call it a day. Hey, they're H-wording me or whatever. I think it's too late for me to say H-word. Hey, they're H-wording me now. They're harassing me. Well, I guess we gotta shut them up. Which it may not come to that. I know I'm doing this Orwellian thing, so to speak, but you just have to question it at some point. They've already shot the first shot, man. They've already taken down the video, which in full context is justified and should stay up. With context, he went in on Leafy. He gave Leafy a taste of his own medicine. That's in the context, but YouTube's machine learning and the yuppies that they have running it that don't understand context is a huge problem. It really is. And they just constantly fail to understand that is a huge problem. And of course, YouTube is to blame. At the same time, we're to blame too, because we all complain about YouTube all the time. Creators complain about YouTube. Audiences complain about YouTube. Not gonna lie, of course, it's primarily part because content creators talk about how bad YouTube treats them on a daily basis, but it's all true. For the majority of it, it's all true. And I'm not gonna take it away that some of the YouTube employees work really hard, but let's not make any bones about it. It's like the director that said that they worked really hard on making that old Shazam movie. If anybody remembers that throwback, they may have worked really hard on it, but it's still really bad. I enjoy it actually, but it's still really bad. And of course, the advertisers to a lesser degree, because money talks. That's above anything else in Google's eyes or any company's eyes. For the most part, there's some good companies out there. There's some genuine ones, but they're far and in between. Like, Google pretends to be on your side, but at the end of the day, if Google had to choose between you and a sack of money, well, actually, they're going to choose you, because a sack of money is nice, but your data over 50 or something odd years is going to be more valuable than a sack of money, most likely. How you like that for subverting those expectations? Game of Thrones ain't got no me. Anyways, the line between criticism and harassment, it's so blurred now. Nobody knows at all where they stand. YouTube will say something and it'll be so vague and up to interpretation, you'll never get an answer. It's just, you just have to take a stab in the dark and hope for the best, and that's not how any business should run. On the creator side and on YouTube side, nothing should run like that. Yeah, good luck. Hope this is the vagueness design, set up by our rules and regulation. Hope you can follow it. And good luck, buddy. That doesn't need to be a thing. It's really it's sad. It's so pathetic. It's frustrating. And please save me the use BitChute or Libri or, I mean, I already got a BitChute account and I'm looking into more, but you know, they're not up there yet. They're not up there to compete with this monolith. Once again, this is the only option as of right now, but I am looking into other things. I really just hope this doesn't devolve into delete criticism by mass flagging. That's my biggest concern. Just using the umbrella, because I've seen the harassment be used as an umbrella for so many things. And the thing that bothers me most about the umbrella term harassment at this point, which harassment should not be an umbrella term. The problem now is criticism can be seen as harassment. Valid criticism that makes you better, that can make you a better being, a better person, is seen as harassment. And that's concerning. And if that's the case, this will inadvertently protect people who are doing very crappy things, who are running very crappy garbage setups, who cheat people, young and impressionable people, out of the data, out of their hard-earned money, and to be tricked into some stupid narrative. Because YouTube is so vague, I swear, if YouTube will play the fighting game, its neutral game would be unrivaled. It would win every tournament. Not every Japanese player could even stand a chance against it. Their cheeks would get clapped into infinity and beyond. It's just sad. YouTube was a place where all walks of life could go. All you needed was a crappy camera, a crappy mic, and a generic internet connection, and you could broadcast yourself. Friendly reminder, YouTube long since removed its broadcast yourself back in 2012, and it's just sad. It's disappointing. Some channels will probably be okay. You got your Drew Goodins, your Danny Gonzalez, your Leon Lushes. They do excellent criticism, by the way, but probably come off more as playful scamps in the eyes of old Big Brother. YouTube became my new home after Facebook evilly, like a Disney villain, bulldozed down an orphanage, cheated me out of years and years of busting my ass trying to build something for everyone. I know I still haven't made that video explaining it. I will at some point. And YouTube, if I'm wrong, of course, I could be wrong. And if I am, I'm wrong because you are never open about anything. So when you don't ever communicate properly, it's left up to everybody's imagination to figure it out. We aren't stupid, and the vagueness is just insulting. It has been for years that this has been happening. I'm just tired of these politician responses. You have zero accountability. You shaft the small creators. I should know. I can look at my analytics and see that, and let out of touch dum-dums decide what should happen next. And it's trickled down, and it doesn't work. Just like real life with the trickle down economics crap. It doesn't work. It's never worked. And you know what really bothers me when people try to defend YouTube and the whole YouTube is doing the best it can? Some people at YouTube really are trying to do the best that they can, but we have a problem when YouTube is where every single decision is met with universal disgust. That's a big problem. YouTube is a multi-billion, with a B, billion-dollar corporation. It has money to buy countries, plural. It's not a cutesy mom and pop shop just doing the best it can to make ends meet. That's not the case. But what really blows my mind, it's simple things that you need to fix and clarify, but you refuse to do so. You'll say something every time without saying anything. Context, communication, competence, transparency, and my God, with the vagueness. If you fixed all these, YouTube would legit be amazing. But thank you for being my extra set of parents, YouTube. I really needed additional parents to tell me how to speak, how to act, how to be, how to think. It's really solid parenting. I know I've been harsh on YouTube. I really mean well. Like, you guys, I don't think you're just like super villains. I don't think that. But you mess up and you never just own the fucking mistake. You'll just do the same crap over and over, and you just won't be honest. That's the biggest thing, like in all of our society. Our biggest problems. People in power will not be honest. YouTube won't be honest. A corporation won't be honest. A politician won't be honest. Be honest, man. We're all finite. Eventually, you've got to go. Do you want your last thought to be, you know, I covered my own ass and I probably ruined somebody else's life in the process? That's my last thought. I sure did a lot of good in the world. Do you want that to be your last thought? I'm just saying. But that's my opinion on it. I'll leave it up to you guys to decide. Shout out if you've even made it to the end of this video, because I went on a tirade for a bit because I'm trying to hold back from really letting loose and being really angry. I don't know if you can tell in my voice, but I'm really trying to hold my punches and be as civil as I possibly can. But it's really pissing me off. Like, comment, subscribe, dislike if you didn't. Patreon because I'm broke as hell. Tier start as low as $1 a month. Thirdiverse because it's really good apparel. Some people really worked very hard on these designs, and if you gave them a chance and if you checked out the site and you see something that you like, I guarantee you if you got it for yourself, you won't regret it. But with that said, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I apologize for taking so much of your time. Hopefully you got something out of it. Hopefully you enjoyed hearing me rant, because it probably sounds funny on the other end. Later, folks. God damn it, I said later.